Hello everyone, and welcome back to Financial Future. Today, we've got a hot topic that's been making headlines recently: the specter of a federal government shutdown and its potential impact on Social Security recipients. You won't believe what went down just hours before the shutdown deadline. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy swooped in with a last-second compromise to avert disaster. But what about our Social Security checks? Here's the scoop. Social Security is funded through permanent, not annual, federal appropriations. That means your monthly benefit checks are safe and sound, regardless of what's happening on Capitol Hill. The average retiree's monthly check is $1,827, and you're still going to get it. But wait, there's more. In some parts of the good old USA, there's another surprise in store for you. We're talking about stimulus direct payments of $2,000 coming your way during the month of October. So stick around to find out all the juicy details about your Social Security checks and those exciting stimulus payments. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, let's quickly recap what happened. A federal government shutdown was looming large, but thanks to a last-second compromise brokered by House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, disaster was averted just hours before the deadline. The bill that passed both the House and Senate now funds the government through November 17. First, let's start with some good news, because we could all use a bit of that, right? The good news is that a government shutdown wouldn't have impacted Social Security checks. Kathleen Roy, Director of Social Security and Disability Policy at the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, assures us that Social Security and Supplemental Security income benefits will be paid without interruption. Yes, you heard that right, your monthly checks would keep rolling in. Unlike some government programs that rely on annual appropriations, Social Security is funded through permanent federal appropriations. In simple terms, that means your checks are guaranteed to keep coming even if other government agencies close their doors. The average monthly check for retirees stands at $1,827, according to the Social Security Administration, and they've made it clear that they'll continue with activities critical to our direct service operations and those needed to ensure accurate and timely payment of benefits in case of a shutdown. Now let's talk about the not-so-great part. Yes, some services might be impacted by a shutdown, although your checks will keep coming. About 15% of the Social Security Administration staff would be furloughed if a government shutdown occurs. This could lead to the suspension of a few customer service activities, such as benefit verifications and replacement Medicare cards. But remember, the good old checks are guaranteed by law, so they're safe. One trouble spot that might arise is with state disability determination services. These services make crucial medical decisions on whether people applying for Social Security disability payments qualify for them. The Social Security Administration urges states to continue their work during a shutdown, but the final call lies with state governments, and in the past, some have closed. This could potentially affect those in need of disability assistance. Before we wrap up, let's draw a quick comparison. Earlier this year, the U.S. faced a funding crisis related to the debt limit. While that crisis was eventually resolved, it's essential to understand the difference. The recent crisis was about appropriations bills that must be passed by Congress and signed by the President. If they hadn't been, the government would have either fully or partially shut down. However, this is distinct from the debt limit crisis, where the Treasury Department would have faced default, potentially delaying Social Security checks. Now, let's move on to some exciting news for you regarding potential extra payments in October. You might be thinking that the days of stimulus checks are over, but don't put your wallet away just yet. In various states across the United States of America, there's still money flowing into people's pockets during the month of October. These payments may not be called stimulus checks, but they sure serve a similar purpose. Let's break it down. First off, let's talk about tax rebates. In some states like Alabama, they're dishing out tax rebate checks during the fall season to those who filed their 2022 tax returns. It's a great way to get a little extra cash in your pocket. California, on the other hand, has the middle class tax refund making waves in October. To be eligible, you must have filed a 2020 California tax return by October 15, 2021, and meet specific income limits: $250,000 for singles and $500,000 for married couples filing jointly. And don't forget Colorado, where tab refunds are rolling in. They're giving $750 to single filers and $1,500 to joint filers over the age of 18. Now that's a hefty chunk of change. Not all of these October bonuses come in the form of tax rebates. Georgia, for instance, is offering tax rebates of up to $500 through House Bill 162. To qualify, you must have filed your tax returns in 2021 and 2022. Maine residents, get ready for the winter energy relief payment, where single filers receive $450 and joint filers pocket a cool $900. Several other states are also jumping on the extra payment bandwagon in October. These states include Massachusetts, Minnesota, Montana, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, and Virginia, all offering some form of tax rebate. That's a wrap for today's update on potential October payments. If you found this information helpful, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest financial news and insights.